then. Hmm. Hmm. Yay. The curiosity is there to be known. And I'm just gonna jump straight to the point. Reasons why I actually started YouTube and all, Twitch and content creating in general was to manage to reach to the point where I could start doing charities for those who needs it. And I never reached the main priority goal that came ahead of that one. That was, for the moment say, just straight up being, yeah, the 1,000 subscribers before I could start doing charities. Never been able to do it. Never reached the marks. Channel stopped growing at some point. Caused caused myself not to be able to reach the sub goal that was required for being able to do the charities and all that fun stuff. Unfortunately, there is not a lot you can do about it. But the cause of that I actually wanted to do it in the start was thanks to the inspiration from Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and etc. and etc. Because they did charities and I got inspired to give on trying. I wanted to believe I could do the same and reach that number of subscribers, that I could be able to do charities for people around the world that needs it, hospitals, those who can't afford hospitals, those who actually need it more than anyone else. And not being able to reach that point actually broke me. And I really would like to actually go for that one, but it's hard to say this, but lacking the views, the perfect algorithm, and so forth is causing it just straight to go down. Like it's tearing it apart immediately. And I don't know how to say this, but it kinda was fun doing YouTube for the time being, but seeing it that it did not work properly just tore me apart. And I really would like to continue with it, but the fact that I never managed to get that far just abruptly, and at some point with the growth, it's not the funniest thing at all, but I'm trying and trying and trying at my hardest rates. and it was a trial of efforts and such just to be faced by neglect, neglect and all. And I don't know how to properly describe it, but it feels like something just torn out of yourself and lost forever. That is what this feels like. But I really had hopes and kept pushing myself and told myself one stream or one video will eventually break the looping point that has have been holding me behind for a long time. But I took so wrong so many times. And when I realized that it did not go anywhere, that I was stuck in an infinite loop of up and down, well, at that point I realized it was no point trying anymore. And don't quote me on this, but I've tried so hard, I quite honestly almost went insane from creating content. And I would love to keep going, but the fact that I actually did not manage to do anything about it was just a heartbreak. But would honestly keep on trying if I had the motivation, the heart and core for the main fun of it. But apparently that is no longer a goal. It is no longer a goal to reach. But seeing the fact that I have reached the end and realizing that I have been at a dead channel for a so long period of time made me realize that why keep going when the only thing I can do is just admit defeat and just say, hey, it's not gonna work anymore. So I took and admitted defeat and just took it down. But I would just say, enjoy the footage. But I'm just gonna say this. The best thing that actually happened for me was that I actually got a a sub base that actually kept racing upwards to a certain point when it just stopped, and I thought to myself, this is just like probably something everybody dealt with and got stuck at that point. But for no, not so many days ago, I realized that it was quite the opposite. Not everyone has been through this kind of loop for ages, and I'm talking about years. I kept on trying years by years by years. It's not the thing you want to be stuck in for an eternity and all. And this is coming from me, who is a bottom feeder at YouTube. And I'm calling myself a bottom feeder because that is how far down I actually am on the list. So I would rather focus on my work at daily basis at 100% and more in efficiency than rather being like partially thinking about new ways of creating content and all. So I will admit it's kinda hard to let go of the YouTube channel itself. That's why I'm saying this right now. This is a possibility that it will be my last upload. And if this is the last upload, the channel will be torn down and removed the contents of it within a year or about 1 year lifetime, and then I will remove all of my videos, my streams. What is the point of having a channel when you don't have anything to go on to support the weight, to go further into the depths? And yeah, it's not the easiest thing to say this, but I had fun with the with content creation. I had, yeah, mostly everything that I needed at the early end, but it is hard to put in words at the moment, so yeah. And something I really had been wanting to tell everyone that has been watching. I've been loving and appreciating every single support I've gotten from every single one of the viewers. So, not being able to reach the charity point actually pains me, because that had been something that had been more valuable for those who need it more than just having their weight and support on their whole community to support their wages for the fact they are struggling for life, they're struggling with everything. They're here for those who actually needs it more than anyone else. That's kind of the charity I wanted to do was to help out everyone else that was in that big ass struggle. Never reaching the sub goal for the requirements for that one, for that little thing to be an achievement and accomplished, is tearing apart people from the insides out. But that is something I really want to reach still. But all motivation dropped to zero and below. Like what just happened, I got pushed and bumped away. That is how life has been going for me at the YouTube content creating part. And believe it or not, if I had way more subscribers right now or followers on Twitch, I would love to continue doing content creation. But seeing that I already have the admitted defeat, would just say that I'm tired of trying and trying and never been able to reach what kind of minimal goals I have set time after time. Like, let us say a minimal like goal of 25 likes, never reached. But what do? Keep on trying. Not everyone gets the love and support they actually require. I've even helped out a YouTuber named Heavymaniac Gaming with his mental support. He has been struggling with life himself, insomnia, struggling with a lot. And his life was at the last sliver, and I helped him to the last little bits to manage to keep him on his feet. I told him not to give up, and he didn't give up. And I'm happy to see that he actually grew more rapidly. But to say it out loud, I think that my channel is nowhere near to be at that point for a millennia at least. But to actually give up the channel itself and put it on the shelf for a year, it's gonna be hard to do. So my words here is gonna count a lot. Because content creation isn't something you just settle into. It's something you have to put effort and then settle into. Thinking hard, getting up on your feet over and over again, from falling off and getting down in numbers. It's something that it ain't achieved easily. Some will say it's easy because they have the wits for it. And this is hard to describe. Appreciate the support, Lognius. But realizing the endpoint has already been achieved, there's no point of going back or forward anymore. Cause when you first hit a dead end, even on roads, you have way, uh, nowhere else to just go. You just have to go back and to the start again, like always. And being in this struggle for at least 2 years straight, a rapid up and down, that is as a possibility, but I also thought about trying to start all over again and realized there is no point. But at some point, I will probably start doing it again when life actually gets better. I get a better focus on my points, cause seeing through all my older videos and all, realizing it was more rubbish in the commentary and all. Some was related to the action itself, even through by gameplay, showcase, building, and sometimes I will just like straight up dead silent. But if I start a new channel, that would be a bit more video based, you could say, then. But all the love and support I've gotten up to now, I really do appreciate them. I take them straight to the heart and core of myself. And believe it or not, I kept on trying hard enough that it's pains me that I almost went through to the insanity of the line where you can't cross and cannot cross. I were on the last split second of actually reaching that point due to fatigue, lack of sleep, the focus that I needed on work were gone, and kept them being used for the thoughts about how I can get better, what can I do that nobody else has done. Things like that is like just fatigue itself in general is enough to all of that to apply. Haven't been able to keep the straight face I need sometimes. Almost saying words I would have been banned for, and so forth. That kind of madness is more like a pain. But the fact that I honestly saying out the truth about why I started in the first place with content creation in general was the support for others, being known by supporting others, helping developers, helping them finding bugs, helping them with footage of the game, that sort of stuff, but not being able to achieve it just stings me. It feels like somebody stung something through my heart. Because being a content creator on YouTube or Twitch is more based on not who you are, not the voice itself. It is based on what you are doing. If it's gameplay, the context you're using for commentary for the gameplay, the jokes you're using, if it's new, fresh off the bat kind of content, vlogging, it all has one thing in common: the algorithm and the support from the viewers itself. But seeing through all my haters that have been neglecting and just been, yeah, punishing and humiliating verbally as they deserve, they still are human. Even those who are shy for the camera still gets photos for the family and with their family as well. So there's no point saying that I'm actually tired of YouTube, because that is just a lie. But I'm starting to get tired of the rinse and repeat. Back to scratch, back to point A, back to B, back to A, in a loop for a while, and then suddenly it's dead silent in the growth. So I'm just say this is most likely this last thing I ever gonna be posting up. This it is a high chance of happening, a high possibility. And gonna be just admitting it just straight out here now. All the known YouTubers that I have noticed has sort of HDHD or something. They have something that keeps them hyper, and I find that a bit awesome though. I see that I am one with mainly HDHD, or the opposite to be honest. I got HDD, I mean ADD, the opposite of HDD. ADHD, I mean. Ugh. And the fact of ADD is you are more sleep deprived, you need more sleep, you're fast worn out, and easily can be set down on the thought that you can easily tire out so fast. And uh, the lack of words is humiliating mostly. Even though if I haven't been the best streamer you have found, I still have done my part in entertainment, trying my hardest. I kept on trying and trying. It proved a valid point that I'm not giving up for a long time. And that is something most people would think of a good effort, but mainly those who are in to be haters says the quite opposite. And that is something I hate seeing. It's like being bullied and disrespected, stepped on, run over. It's that sort of feeling you will get from it. And people do not appreciate the effort you have done to try to reach a primary goal like I have. Most people I've seen have just joined and just left immediately, and that is just annoying to see. And people like just do that just for the shits and gigs isn't worth. dealing with. They should be taken out of YouTube. Those who just joins, leaves, and don't say a word when they comment. They don't even say hi or greet the person when they are streaming. And that is just pure bullshit to say it's just straight out how it is. But it's like playing a game. You never give up until you're just tired of it. You keep on playing the game to a certain point or finishing the whole game. That is what it feels like I have been through. And it's not so easy to say this, but it is a 99% chance that this is the last upload on my channel. But a huge thanks to everyone that have actually been here to support me. I appreciate everything you have done for me so far. Thank you all for joining in.